Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News. The headlines. KAMBWILI fails to appear before court for commencement of defense in a defamation of the president case. VEEP charges that violence has no place in Zambia. Join me with the media news in detail after this commercial.
Our achievements in the health sector. As the Patriotic Front government, we have recruited and deployed 27,000 nurses and other health personnel across the country to provide the much-needed healthcare, including the fight against COVID-19, child healthcare, as well as maternity care to all parts of the country. Vote for Edgar Chagwa Lungu and the PF that have brought you change.
And now the media news in detail. Patriotic Front member Chishimba KAMBWILI has failed to open his defense in the case where he is accused of referring to President Edgar Lungu a dog on grounds that he was unwell. This is in a matter where the former opposition leader of National Democratic Congress Party has been charged with one count of defamation of the president contrary to the laws of Zambia. When the matter came up for opening of defense before Lusaka Chief Resident Magistrate Lamek Mwale, Mr. KAMBWILI's surety Kwangu Mkupe said the former president traveled to Chinsali and was diagnosed with malaria and was given a 7-day bed rest. But the sick note which was issued to KAMBWILI had no debt, forcing the court to question whether it was authentic.
Former National Democratic Congress leader, now a member of the Patriotic Front, after rejoining the party recently, Chishimba KAMBWILI, who was on Wednesday morning, the 16th of June 2021, expected to appear before the Chief Resident Magistrate to commence his defense in a case he's accused of insulting the head of state, failed to do so. This is following his surety informing the court that the former, who had traveled to Chinsali, had been diagnosed with malaria. In this case, KAMBWILI stands charged with one count of defamation of the president. Allegations are that on dates unknown, but between 26 and 27 August 2019, with intent to bring the name of the president into hatred, ridicule or contempt, he did publish an insulting matter by word of mouth. Last month, on the 31st of May 2021, the accused was expected to open his defense, but the state informed the court that it had received instructions regarding the case, which was yet to be discussed. Equally, KAMBWILI's lawyer Keith Mwemba also informed the court that he was not ready to proceed because they had in-house issues that they needed to sort out. But this morning, the court was left to give another adjournment after receiving the sick report of the accused. The accused, who has been frequenting the magistrate ground, has however been left with 2 cases before court and has been put on defense in both cases. Among those is the one before Magistrate Lamek Mwale, the defamation case, while the other is that before Magistrate Mwakami Kalile, where he has been jointly charged with his son, Mwamba, and 3 others, with 35 counts of being in possession of property suspected to be proceeds of crime, among other charges. The accused is expected to appear before court on the 27th of July to commence his defense. In the case, he is accused of insulting President Lungu. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Lusaka High Court has set 20th of July 2021 as Judgment Day in the case where former pupils of Twin Palms Secondary School are accused of murdering a grade 12 pupil of Kabalonga Boys Secondary School in 2020. This is in a case which Elvis Nsonkolo is jointly charged with 3 juveniles aged between 16 and 18 for the alleged murder of Ryan P. on the 14th of December 2020 during a fight between pupils from Twin Palms Secondary and Kabalonga Boys Secondary School. When the case came up for opening of defense, the 4 denied causing the death of Ryan, all claiming that they were never present at the scene.
The 4 former Twin Palms Secondary School pupils who are accused of ending the life of a Kablonga pupil last year, Ryan Piri, who was only age 17 at the time of his death, will have to wait for 34 days to hear the High Court's judgment in their alleged murder case. This is in a case in which Elvis Nsokolo is jointly charged with 3 juveniles aged between 16 and 18 for the alleged murder of Piri on the 4th of December 2020 during a fight between pupils from Twin Palm and Kablonga Boys Secondary School. And when the matter came before court this morning for commencement of defense, all the 4 denied the allegations, claiming that they were never present at the scene. Elvis Nsokolo, aged 19, who first took the stand, testified that on the material day, the 4th of December 2020, he was at school when unknown Kablonga pupils went to their school and started throwing stones. He explained that after 10 minutes, they were released to go home, but on his way, some of the Kablonga boys started following him, and one of them, who he identified as Vincent Ngoma, approached him with a punch, which in return he did the same. He testified that the confusion arose between the pupils of Kablonga and Twin Palm. He went home, and a few days later he was caught by the police to give his testimony. The court further heard testimony from all the offenders that they were not together when the alleged incident occurred. They all claimed to have used different routes on their way back home, some stating that they were never in school on that particular day. The court has since set 20th July as judgment day in the case. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, Vice President Inongawina has called on the church to voice out on the continued political violence in the country. Speaking in Kabwe when she addressed members of the clergy, Mrs. Wina says political violence has no place in Zambia and should be condemned by all well-meaning Zambians. And the Vice President has also called on the church to continue working with the government in fostering national development. She has also called on the people of Central Province to support the efforts of government that are aimed at improving the living standard of people. Meanwhile, Kabwe Pastors Fellowship Bishop Hector Sinyangwe has thanked government for the unprecedented development brought to the country in the past 9 years. Bishop Sinyangwe says in as much as not everything has been done, the move by the Patriotic Front has given people hope to all Zambians that development is possible. He said government has done a lot that has helped improve the economic landscape of the country.
I wish to thank the people of Central Province for the overwhelming support towards the government of the day and for maintaining law and order in the province, especially in the face of COVID-19 pandemic. I challenge Christian men and women in the leadership of political parties not to toil into submission, but to come out with force to stop this chaos. We are also aware that there are some powerful forces pushing our country towards political instability, and this we cannot allow. And it is up to the pastors who preside over the same borders that we are due to, who should spread the word of peace, love, and harmony for our country to go through this election with order and dignity.
Madam Vice President, would like also to recognize and appreciate the tremendous care and service you have offered to this nation over the years in your various services to Mother Zambia and now as Vice President. Your honor, you have shown the way. You have raised the standard for our women folk that it can be done if one is committed and dedicated to the vision of serving the nation. Your honor, you have scored as the first female Vice President of Zambia, and we are sincerely proud of you and your achievements.
Young Men's Christian Association of Zambia has suspended all major activities to do with community engagements. YMCA President Anthony Rajan says social media platforms should be utilized during this period as they are co-effective and convenient. And Mr. Rajan has condemned the current political violence that has continued to characterize the campaign period. He says youths in the country should engage in productive activities and not be used as tools of violence.
Zambia YMCA has with immediate effects suspended all major activities to do with community engagements. Remember that social distancing does not mean social isolation. This generation is blessed with a great opportunity to make full use of information communication technologies, ICTs. I urge you all to arrange virtual meetings for both formal and social purposes via video conferencing tools provided by the number of online communication platforms. In any case, such arrangements are less costly compared to physical meetings and also promote environmental sustainability in many ways. I would like to take this opportunity to condemn the recent incidents of political violence experienced in some part of the country. I encourage all political leaders to openly speak against violence and urge their supporters to remain peaceful. To all our young people, please don't be tools of political violence, but be active change agents and promotes of peace in the running up to the election.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. KAMBWILI fails to appear before court for commencement of defense in a defamation of the president case. VEEP charges that violence has no place in Zambia. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Remember to always wear your mask, avoid crowded places, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Stay safe. Good afternoon.